improved is P7 with a 203.474. 1.245 of pole. The real racing Dreiser is P1 up 0.23. The real racing Dreiser is provisional pole with a 201.962. Bobby Pennington is P10 up 0.19 driving a McLaren 650. Bobby Pennington improved is 9th with a 204.275. 2.313 of pole. Jace is P13 driving a BMW Z4. Jace improved is 13th with a 205.294. 3.332 of pole. Chris Redman is P2 up 0.23. Chris Redman is provisional pole with a 201.731. Adam McQueen is P19 up 1.91 driving a McLaren 650. Adam McQueen improved is P14 with a 207.015. 5.284 of pole. Juiced is P17 up 0.20. Bobby Pennington is 9th up 0.42. Bobby Pennington improved is 8th with a 203.696. 1.965 of pole. Colin Mack is 12th up 0.31. Best lap is a 205.169. 3.438 of pole. Jace is P13. The real racing Dreiser is 2nd up 0.12. Jace is P13 up 0.31. The real racing Dreiser is 2nd up 0.13. Best lap is a 201.962. 0.231 of pole. The real racing Dreiser is up 0.29 in spoon curve. "15 minutes remaining in the session. The real racing Dreiser is up 0.19 in Casio triangle. Callum Jones is 9th up 0.45 driving a McLaren 650. Callum Jones improved his P8 with a 2:03.522. 1.791 of pole. Martin Luman is 18th up 1.85. Martin Luman improved his P18 with a 2:10.364. 8.633 of pole. Chris Redman is P1 up 0.21. Pete is P5 up 0.15. Bobby Pennington is 9th. Bobby Pennington is up 0.33 in Dunlop curve. Lee Cripps is 15th up 0.95 driving a BMW Z4. Lee Cripps improved his 14th with a 2:06.167. 4.436 off pole. Bobby Pennington is 9th up 0.50. Bobby Pennington improved his P5 with a 2:03.296. 1.565 off pole. Lee Cripps is P14 up 0.10. Lee Cripps is up 0.73 in Spoon Curve. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Bobby Pennington is 5th up 0.44. Bobby Pennington is up 0.09 in Casio Triangle. Hassab is P20 up 1.38. Jace is P13 up 0.35. Jace improved his 13th with a 2:05.189. 3.458 off pole. Dan Jude is P19 up 2.05 driving a McLaren 650. Jace is 13th up 0.10. Dan Jude is 19th up 1.94. Dan Jude is up 1.91 in spoon curve. Jace is 13th. Jace improved his P11 with a 2:04.788. 3.057 off pole. Dan Jude is P20 up 1.31. Dan Jude improved his 17th with a 2:09.434. 7.703 off pole. Jace is 11th up 0.16. Five minutes remaining in the session. Dave Gill is 10th up 0.17. Bobby Pennington is 6th up 0.24. Bobby Pennington is up 0.17 in Casio Triangle. Bobby Pennington improved his P5 with a 202.995. 1.264 of pole. Martin Luman is P19 up 1.37. Dan Jude is P17 up 0.24. Dan Jude improved his 17th with a 209.098. 7.367 of pole. Pete is P7 up 0.27. Brad Ward from Italy is P12 up 0.12 driving a McLaren 650. Best lap is a 205.090. 3.359 of pole. Dan Jude is 17th up 0.35. Martin Luman is P19 up 0.97. Martin Luman is up 1.15 in spoon curve. Martin Luman is up 0.07 in Casio triangle. Pete is 7th up 0.11. Best lap is a 203.311. 1.580 of pole. Pete is up 0.41 in hairpin. Pete is up 0.27 in spoon curve. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Pete is up 0.21 in Casio triangle. Brad Ward is 12th. The race session is at Suzuka F1 Circuit 2018 in Suzuka, Japan. The wind speed is 7 km/h from the north-northeast. Bobby Pennington is P5. Chris Redman is P1. The real racing driver is second, driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Martin Buchan from Scotland is third, driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Andy Turnbull is fourth, driving a McLaren 650. Bobby Pennington is P5, driving a McLaren 650. Callum Jones is P6, driving a McLaren 650. Pete is 7th, driving a McLaren 650. Earl Grey is 8th. Paul Harrison is P9, driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Dave Gill is 10th. Jace is 11th, driving a BMW Z4. Brad Ward from Italy is 12th, driving a McLaren 650. Colin Mack is P13, driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Lee Cripps is P14, driving a BMW Z4. Adam McQueen is P15, driving a McLaren 650. Stu from Scotland is P16, driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Dan Jude is 17th, driving a McLaren 650. Juiced is P18, driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Martin Luhmann is P19, driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Hassab is 20th, driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Ferg is 21st, driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Philip is 22nd. Chris Redman is P1. "60 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. The real racing driver is second. The real racing driver passed Chris Redman for P1. Andy Turnbull is P4. Andy Turnbull is now P2. Pete is P3. Dan Jude is P10. Dan Jude lost P15 to Colin Mack. Paul Harrison is 5th. Paul Harrison passed Dave Gill for 4th. Dave Gill is P5. Dan Jude entering the pits is 22nd. Colin Mack is 14th. Martin Buchan is P11. Dave Gill is P5. 0.5 behind Paul Harrison. Chris Redman is 9th. Dan Jude exiting pits. Chris Redman passed Adam McQueen for P8. Adam McQueen is P9. Callum Jones is 15th, 0.4 behind Bobby Pennington. Chris Redman is P8, 0.5 behind Jace. Jace is P8, 0.3 behind Chris Redman. Chris Redman on lap 2 is P7, 0.3 ahead of Jace. Philip on lap 2 is P18, 0.1 behind Lee Cripps. Jace is P7 battling Chris Redman. Jace lost P7 to Chris Redman. Brad Ward is 7th, 0.1 behind Chris Redman. Martin Buchan on lap 3 is 9th, 0.3 behind Jace. Earl Grey is P11, 0.3 behind Ferg. "55 minutes remaining in the session. Jace is P8, 0.2 behind Brad Ward. Martin Buchan is 9th, 0.1 behind Jace. Jace is 8th. Best lap is a 2:07.292. 3.726 off the fastest lap. Martin Buchan is 9th, 0.2 behind Jace. Dan Jude exiting pits. Jace on lap 3 is 8th, 0.1 ahead of Martin Buchan. Paul Harrison is 4th, 0.4 behind Pete. Jace is 8th battling Martin Buchan. Earl Grey is P10, 0.4 behind Brad Ward. Jace is P8, 0.4 behind Martin Buchan. Chris Redman is 6th, 0.1 behind Dave Gill. Chris Redman passed Dave Gill for P5. Dave Gill is 6th, 0.5 behind Chris Redman. Earl Grey is 10th, 0.1 behind Brad Ward. Bobby Pennington on lap 4 is P13, 0.4 behind Colin Mack. Brad Ward is 10th, 0.3 ahead of Ferg. Brad Ward lost P10 to Ferg. Brad Ward is now P10. Colin Mack is 11th. Ferg is 12th, 0.3 behind Colin Mack. Ferg lost 12th to Bobby Pennington. Colin Mack is 11th, 0.4 behind Brad Ward. Bobby Pennington is P12. Best lap is a 2:04.418. 1.974 of the fastest lap. Colin Mack is P11, 0.3 ahead of Bobby Pennington. Callum Jones is P13, 0.5 behind Ferg. Hassab entering the pits is P21. 50 minutes remaining in the session. Lee Cripps is P18, 0.4 behind Philip. Colin Mack is 11th, 0.2 behind Brad Ward. Martin Buchan is 7th, 0.3 behind Dave Gill. Hassab exiting pits. Dave Gill is 7th, 0.1 behind Martin Buchan. Bobby Pennington is 14th, 0.2 behind Ferg. Colin Mack is 11th, 0.3 ahead of Callum Jones. Callum Jones on lap 6 is 12th, 0.3 behind Colin Mack. Lee Cripps is 17th, 0.3 behind Juice. Colin Mack is P11, 0.5 behind Brad Ward. Callum Jones is 12th, 0.4 behind Colin Mack. Brad Ward on lap 6 is P11, 0.2 ahead of Callum Jones. Callum Jones is 12th. Bobby Pennington is 13th, 0.3 behind Callum Jones. Third is P14, 0.3 behind Bobby Pennington. Callum Jones is 12th. Best lap is a 2:04.736. 2.292 of the fastest lap. Brad Ward is P11, 0.5 behind Colin Mack. Colin Mack was 0.9 faster last lap. Brad Ward passed Colin Mack for 10th. Colin Mack is P11, 0.1 ahead of Callum Jones. Colin Mack lost 11th to Callum Jones. Bobby Pennington is P13. Jace is 7th battling Pete. Jace passed Pete for 6th. "45 minutes remaining in the session. Callum Jones is P11. Dave Gill is 8th, 0.5 behind Pete. Callum Jones is 11th, 0.3 behind Brad Ward. Dave Gill is 8th. Best lap is a 2:05.360. 2.916 of the fastest lap. Dave Gill passed Pete for P7. Pete is 8th. Best lap is a 2:04.265. 1.821 of the fastest lap. Juiced exiting pits. Bobby Pennington is 11th, 0.3 ahead of Colin Mack. Third is 13th. Best lap is a 2:05.697. 3.253 of the fastest lap. Bobby Pennington is 11th. Ferg on lap 8 is 13th, 0.3 behind Colin Mack. Ferg was 1.0 faster last lap. Dave Gill is 7th. Bobby Pennington is 11th, 0.6 behind Callum Jones. Earl Grey is 9th. Best lap is a 2:04.714. 2.270 of the fastest lap. Lee Cripps is 16th, 0.5 behind Adam McQueen. Earl Grey on lap 9 is 9th, 0.4 behind Pete. Lee Cripps is 16th. Best lap is a 2:06.396. 3.952 of the fastest lap. Lee Cripps passed Adam McQueen for P15. Earl Grey on lap 10 is 9th, 0.9 behind Pete. Bobby Pennington is 11th. Best lap is a 2:04.264. 1.820 of the fastest lap. "40 minutes remaining in the session." Ferg is 13th, 1.2 behind Colin Mack. Bobby Pennington on lap 10 is 11th, 1.1 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is P10, 0.9 ahead of Bobby Pennington. Bobby Pennington is 11th, 0.8 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is P10, 0.5 behind Earl Grey. Bobby Pennington is 11th, 0.5 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is 10th, 0.5 behind Earl Grey. Bobby Pennington is P11. Callum Jones is P10. Best lap is a 2:03.791. 1.347 of the fastest lap. Bobby Pennington is P11, 0.3 behind Callum Jones. Earl Grey on lap 11 is 10th, 0.3 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is P10, 0.3 ahead of Bobby Pennington. Bobby Pennington is P11, 0.6 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is 10th. Bobby Pennington is 11th, 0.5 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones on lap 12 is 10th, 0.4 ahead of Bobby Pennington. "35 minutes remaining in the session. Bobby Pennington is P11, 0.8 behind Callum Jones. Callum Jones is P10. Callum Jones is now P9. Chris Redman exiting pits. Chris Redman is P12. Best lap is a 2:02.881. 0.437 of the fastest lap. Callum Jones on lap 13 is 9th, 0.3 behind Earl Grey. Callum Jones is now P8. Bobby Pennington is P9. Chris Redman on lap 13 is 11th, 0.6 behind Colin Mack. Bobby Pennington is P9, 0.8 behind Callum Jones. Chris Redman is 11th, 0.6 behind Colin Mack. Colin Mack was 34.8 faster last lap. Colin Mack is 11th battling Chris Redman. Colin Mack was 4.5 faster last lap. Dave Gill is 6th, 0.5 behind Jace. Dave Gill was 1.3 faster last lap. Dave Gill passed Jace for 5th. Jace is P6, 0.4 behind Dave Gill. Pete on lap 14 is 7th, 0.5 behind Jace. Bobby Pennington is 9th, 0.3 behind Callum Jones. Pete is P7, 0.5 behind Jace. The Real Racing Dreiser exiting pits. Pete passed Jace for 6th. Bobby Pennington entering the pits is 9th. Bobby Pennington is 9th. Brad Ward is P13. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Brad Ward is now P11. Jace is P12. Earl Grey entering the pits is P14. Jace exiting pits. Bobby Pennington exiting pits. Chris Redman is P8. Chris Redman passed Dave Gill for P6. Colin Mack is 9th, 0.3 behind Pete. Colin Mack was 0.8 faster last lap. Earl Grey exiting pits. Pete is 8th, 0.2 ahead of Colin Mack. Colin Mack is 9th, 0.4 behind Pete. Pete is P9 battling Colin Mack. Andy Turnbull exiting pits. Paul Harrison exiting pits. Martin Luman exiting pits. Chris Redman on lap 16 is 5th, 2.2 behind Paul Harrison. Callum Jones exiting pits. Philip is P17, 5.0 behind Earl Grey. Philip was 19.4 faster last lap. Dave Gill exiting pits. Pete exiting pits. Ferg exiting pits. Adam McQueen entering the pits is 15th. Brad Ward exiting pits. Bobby Pennington is P9, 1.7 behind Callum Jones. Lee Cripps exiting pits. Pete on lap 16 is 11th, 1.2 behind Dave Gill. Adam McQueen exiting pits. Bobby Pennington is 9th, 1.4 behind Callum Jones. Chris Redman is P5, 0.4 behind Paul Harrison. Chris Redman passed Paul Harrison for P4. Pete is P11, 1.0 behind Dave Gill. Colin Mack exiting pits. Dave Gill is 10th, 0.3 behind Colin Mack. Dave Gill passed Colin Mack for 9th. 25 minutes remaining in the session. Pete is P11, 0.3 behind Colin Mack. Pete passed Colin Mack for P10. Colin Mack on lap 17 is P11, 0.4 behind Pete. Martin Buchan entering the pits is first. Bobby Pennington is P8, 0.6 behind Callum Jones. Colin Mack is 11th, 0.5 behind Pete. Philip exiting pits. Martin Buchan exiting pits. Bobby Pennington is P8, 1.0 behind Callum Jones. Colin Mack is P11, 0.4 behind Pete. Callum Jones is 8th, 0.4 behind Bobby Pennington. Colin Mack is 11th, 0.5 behind Pete. Callum Jones is P8, 0.4 behind Bobby Pennington. Bobby Pennington was 0.5 faster last lap. Colin Mack is P11, 0.5 behind Pete. Callum Jones on lap 18 is P8, 0.9 behind Bobby Pennington. Dan Jude exiting pits. Colin Mack is 11th, 1.5 behind Pete. Callum Jones is P8, 1.2 behind Bobby Pennington. Colin Mack is P11, 0.5 behind Pete. Juiced exiting pits. Callum Jones is 8th, 1.0 behind Bobby Pennington. Callum Jones is now 8th. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Bobby Pennington is P8. Best lap is a 2:04.034. 1.590 of the fastest lap. Callum Jones is P9, 1.0 behind Bobby Pennington. Colin Mack on lap 19 is 11th, 0.1 behind Pete. Colin Mack passed Pete for 10th. Pete on lap 20 is P11, 0.4 behind Colin Mack. Colin Mack was 0.7 faster last lap. Callum Jones is P8, 1.4 behind Bobby Pennington. Pete is 11th, 1.4 behind Colin Mack. Callum Jones on lap 20 is P8, 1.7 behind Bobby Pennington. Jace is P7, 0.7 ahead of Callum Jones. Callum Jones is 8th, 0.5 behind Jace. Jace is P7, 0.4 ahead of Callum Jones. Callum Jones was 2.3 faster last lap. Callum Jones is 8th, 0.4 behind Jace. Jace is 7th. Best lap is a 2:05.022. 2.578 off the fastest lap. Callum Jones is 8th. "15 minutes remaining in the session." Pete is 11th, 1.9 behind Colin Mack. Stu exiting pits. Callum Jones is 8th, 0.4 behind Jace. Jace is 8th. Ferg is 12th, 2.4 behind Pete. Jace on lap 22 is 8th, 1.6 behind Callum Jones. Ferg is 12th, 1.9 behind Pete. Jace is 8th. Ferg is 12th, 2.2 behind Pete. Pete is P11, 2.0 behind Colin Mack. Pete is now P12. Adam McQueen is 16th. Ferg is P13, 1.9 behind Pete. Pete is 12th, 2.0 ahead of Ferg. Pete is now 11th. Ferg is 12th, 1.9 behind Pete. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Stu is 20th. Earl Grey is P14. Best lap is a 2:04.645. 2.201 of the fastest lap. Pete is P13, 1.6 ahead of Earl Grey. Earl Grey is P14, 1.3 behind Pete. Pete is P13, 1.1 ahead of Earl Grey. Earl Grey is 14th, 0.7 behind Pete. Martin Buchan is 5th, 2.5 behind Andy Turnbull. Dan Jude exiting pits. Earl Grey on lap 25 is P14, 0.4 behind Pete. Pete is P13, 0.6 ahead of Earl Grey. Earl Grey is 14th, 0.7 behind Pete. Pete is P13, 0.6 ahead of Earl Grey. Earl Grey is 14th, 0.2 behind Pete. Pete is 14th battling Earl Grey. Five minutes remaining in the session. Colin Mack is 11th, 2.5 behind Ferg. Earl Grey is P13. Colin Mack on lap 27 is 11th, 2.6 behind Ferg. Earl Grey is P13. Colin Mack on lap 27 is 11th, 2.2 behind Ferg. Colin Mack was 0.6 faster last lap. Earl Grey is P13. Colin Mack is 11th, 1.8 behind third. Earl Grey is P13, 3.2 behind Brad Ward. Colin Mack is P11, 1.6 behind third. Earl Grey is P13. Colin Mack is 11th, 1.1 behind third. Earl Grey on lap 28 is 13th, 1.7 behind Brad Ward. Colin Mack is P11, 2.2 behind third. The leader has just finished the race. The real racing Dreiser finished P1. Pete finished 14th. Lee Cripps finished P15. Chris Redman finished P2. Philip finished P17. Hassab finished 21st. Martin Luhmann finished P18. Dan Jude finished 22nd. Paul Harrison finished P3. Andy Turnbull finished P4. Martin Buchan finished P5. Joost finished P19. Bobby Pennington finished 6th. Callum Jones finished P7. Adam McQueen finished P16. Jace finished 8th. Stu finished P20. Dave Gill finished 9th. Ferg finished 13th. Colin Mack finished 11th. Brad Ward finished P12. Earl Grey finished 13th.